Hey everybody, my name's Jay Black. I am a comedian. I'm joined by Bill Ridgway. And this is Nerdstalgia, where every week we take a look at something from our youth and decide whether or not it belongs in our brain. Nerd! Today's episode is about the TV show M.A.S.K, M-A.S.K, which I think stands for something, but
Mobile Armored Strike Command, I believe.
With a K?
Yes.
Command. Anytime you replace a C with a K, I'm thinking bad stuff is afoot.
Go to Venom, the evil guys. You know what that stands for, right?
No.
It's Vicious Evil Network of Mayhem.
You know,
Who comes up with, that's really...
They're
really out there. That's telling you exactly what they're about. It's not just they're not trying to cover anything with that one.
They say the best villains think they're the heroes. What I like about Venom, there is no chance at all. They're like, we are vicious, evil people. On paper, this TV show makes a lot of sense. Because here's the pitch. Do you like G.I. Joe?
Right.
Do you like Transformers? Well, this is both, right? It's about a group of operatives who like solve problems. They're fighting a snake-based terrorist organization, and they ride around in trucks. Right. And when the bad guys, are doing bad stuff, those trucks turn into
other trucks.
And the one sports car turns into a plane. Right. There's a motorcycle that turns into a helicopter. Basically, G.I. Joe meets Transformers. Right. Which, if I'm a TV executive in the 80s, now just picture our conference table, just from here to the end of the world, filled with cocaine, right? And you and I are just doing mountains of coke. In fact, let's just stop and think about that for a second. Now, somebody walks in and goes, hey, I got a cartoon idea, G.I. Joe meets Transformers. We're like, great! I'm gonna just say now, this is by far the worst thing we've ever watched for the show. This show was terrible.
Every character's forgettable.
Yep.
The main guy, whoever does his voice for Matt Tracker.
The Matt Tracker.
They must have filled him with so much Xanax or whatever. What is the Xanax back then?
Xanax was just not cocaine. Everybody else was just so amped up on cocaine that if you didn't do cocaine for a day, everybody was like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, he's talking in slow motion. It opens with a doctor of some sort working on an alien site.
Okay.
And she gets chased by the bad guys, and she goes off a cliff, right?
100-foot cliff in an open Jeep, by the way.
An open Jeep. And the bad guys are looking down, presumably at her corpse. We don't see the corpse. And they go, it's a shame. She was a good driver. And it walks away. So we're literally a minute in to a children's program, and a woman who's been attacked by men is dead at the bottom of a ravine. Not a great start.
Right.
We cut to an even worse thing, because the woman wakes up at Matt Tracker's house.
Right, no hospital visit.
No hospital, nothing else. And she's like, where am I? And he was like, oh, my agents found you.
But with that creepy, slow delivery, he says it to her. Like, it's clearly a dungeon of some sort where he's murdering women. She just happened to have something he needed. Or if she was just some, a hitchhiker that fell into the ravine.
But that's the thing. He doesn't know if there's anything involved that he should be a part of, because he goes, yeah, my men found you and brought you back here.
Yeah, who are your men and where are they finding women for?
And why are you not taking me to a hospital? Why did he take you to that? Because this would be justifiable by 80s cartoon cocaine logic if he had already known about the alien artifact that she knew about. But he had no clue. His men found her, brought her back to his house. She wakes up in a strange place.
Reaches into her pocket, pulls out the tape that somehow survived the 100-foot fall in water.
And she's fine, but she's like, but she goes, oh, where am I? You're at my house. I'm Matt Tracker. My men found you. And she's like, Matt Tracker, I've heard of you. You help solve problems. Now, I assume this is like the 80s logic that's the same as the A-Team. Right. Which is, if you know how to contact the A-Team, you're aware of it. It's sort of like, it's sort of like if you, like a backroom bar that hipsters know about. You got to be a hipster. And you got to have a straw hat and a record player. And if you have that, you can get into this bar. You just know about it. So she's like, I know you, Matt Tracker. You help people in trouble. And he's like, he pulls a power move. He's like, I only help people that have a problem that interests me. Right? Do you have one of those? Now, if I'm this girl, I'm getting serious vibes that like I should be getting out of here.
I'm in danger.
I am in danger. Now we never blame the victim.
No.
We don't blame the victim.
No.
But ladies, if you get into a 100-foot ravine crash in an open Jeep and you wake up in some blonde guy's basement, the first question you should ask is, could you take me to a hospital?
Right.
Could I see a counselor of some sort? Because she goes, well, I found a outer space thing. Can you help me? And he's like, well, now you've raised my interest. I guess I'll let you live, lady I found in the ravine. So he puts together his crew, and the word goes out to the mass.
Here's
people.
my issue with the word going out, too. So these guys are, I mean, one of them has an anti-matter helmet.
Yes.
And they flash to where they're getting everybody from. And one guy's like an engineer, one looks like a college professor.
One's like a rock star.
One's a rock star.
Yeah.
But then there's a guy who's a pizza guy. He's like flipping dough. Like, what is he doing? Like, another guy's pumping gas. Like, it was just a bizarre mishmash of where these people came from.
Here's what I loved about The Gathering, too. I loved it. Is that they get it like on their watch, right? They get like a toot, 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 like Matt Tracker, who has killed all of their wives, who needs them, right? So it goes, toot, 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 Matt Tracker needs me. Now, presumably they have this watch because it is, thank you, Jim. Let's try again. Yeah. All of their watches go, doot, 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 Matt Tracker needs me.
Right.
Now, presumably, it's because, like, this is a secret organization, right? But when they get the call from Matt Tracker, the guy doesn't like gently put the pizza down and say, I gotta go. He runs as the pizza's still in the air.
An apparent rock star in looks like a packed stadium just goes running for the exit. Like that wouldn't be on TMZ the next day, or somebody would be asking you about that, or
Here's another bit of advice. If you're in a secret organization and you get the call on your watch, you can wait till the pizza's done flipping. Let's say you got a text and you ran through this green screen or jumped out that window and you did a flip and landed in your car and just drove away. And then like 2 days later you show back up and I go, Bill, what was that text message about? And you just go, no, it's my wife needed me to get milk. I'd be like, well, you kind of hopped to it. Like you should just go, oh yeah, my wife needs me to get milk. I'll be right back. Masked people don't run out of the room.
And everywhere they are, it wasn't like they were sitting at home reading a book and they put the book down and left. They were we're surrounded by people.
Yeah. So they all go to Matt Tracker's sex dungeon, and he goes, "I've let this woman live." Because she has.
Maybe that's why they rushed it. They were so excited. He had entrapped his prey, and they were like, "Oh, dude, Matt got another one. Let's go get these games started." And
it's the worst.
And they're like, "Oh, dude, he wants to save the world."
Right. Well, with Matt, it goes one way or the other. It's either we're going to murder somebody. If we're going to murder a drifter he found, or we are going to go save the world. Right. So he's like, "We got to go save the world," and he presses a button, and the table lifts up. Like 7,000 feet
easily
into another room that looks exactly like the first room. And their special masks come on again.
But wait, it takes 5 minutes for the masks to come down and for them to put them on. Do you see that? It's like a full montage of like they wanted to show you how special those masks were.
Right.
And literally, if they had to be anywhere important, they're just sitting there and like the lights light up. It took 5 minutes to get those masks on.
Yes, they wanted to show you how important the masks were, but they also wanted to save on 5 minutes of animation, so every episode we could see the masks go on. Bill, I mean, this is 1986, I think.
Yeah. Right? I didn't do enough cocaine before we filmed this, but
you know what? That's true of all of us. Yeah. We should all be doing mountains of cocaine. They go 7,000 feet up, they get their masks on, and then they go to his garage.
Right.
And they leave in their special cars. His son, who is my least favorite 80s thing, which is the precocious kid who wants to be part of the group.
Right.
So he's got a sentient robot, right? That's like a little egg person.
T-Bob,
and goes, T-Bob, we gotta help. Turn into a motor scooter. And T-Bob is like, I don't wanna, but I gotta listen to you because of the 3 laws of robotics.
But he tells him to convert because they can't say transform.
Yeah,
remember, because it's that fine line where they're treading on a couple copyright things. So if you listen, I think he doesn't say transform.
Right, convert.
It's like convert or something along those lines.
I didn't notice that, but good call, Bill. So he gets on a little motor scooter and he follows him. And now Venom, could you explain this to me? Are M.A.S.K. a vigilante group against the U.S. government? because the main bad guy in Venom is in a general's outfit.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, but is it kind of like a North Korea general's outfit where he just made up his medals and kind of put them on himself?
Which, by the way, if you're from North Korea and watching this, we here are very much support your government. Please don't block us on North Korean internet.
That's a huge part of our viewership.
Most of our subscribers are North Korean refugees. He looks like an American general. They never address it in the episode, do they?
Not in that episode, at least.
Because if I'm a little kid and I'm watching that, you have Matt Tracker in his, death sex dungeon, putting together his group of outlaw vigilantes to take down the U.S. government. I don't know who I'm supposed to be. If there wasn't villainous evil, or the very evil.
Let's say he is a rogue military guy from the selling weapons to other countries. That's pretty much a standard thing for us, right?
That's what we do in the 80s.
There's nothing really shocking, especially in the 80s.
In the 80s, that's all we did was sell illegal weapons in exchange for more cocaine,
right?
And funding,
and disrupt foreign countries, and so I mean.
I believe, honestly, now that I think back, the bad guy general was modeled on Oliver North. All Venom did was find an alien stone that they could sell to foreign governors.
Oh, they did chase a woman off 100-foot cliff. I forgot about that.
Well, we don't know. I mean, remember, he complimented her. That's more than Matt Tracker ever did. He was like, shame she's dead. Good driver. They're trying to sell an alien stone, and M.A.S.K is going to stop them. Now, the little boy gets... Scott.
I want to say
You're
Scott.
good at remembering names. I just remember. I've got face blindness. I don't pay attention.
So I just jump in when you're like, I think it's Scott.
The little boy comes out.
If not, someone will let us know.
And Hondo, was his name Hondo?
Yes.
Hondo. Rather than learning any lesson, the little boy's like, I heard that lady tell my father with a fear in her voice, because he didn't know if my father was going to kill her or not, that the thing that Venom has can heal people. So I've hurt Hondo by being part of this mission. I'm going to hop on, I'm going to not transform, I'm going to convert my scooter, and I'm going to go figure out where Venom is. So he just takes off into the wilderness there. He finds Venom.
Somehow.
Immediately.
Right.
Just there's no sleuthing.
With his dad, with all the technology, everything else,
no idea.
Clue, no idea.
No idea. All you need to be is an 11-year-old boy on an egg robot that's also a scooter. Finds Venom and hops into the helicopter and calls his dad. And he's like, Dad, I've found Venom. Here's the coordinates. And he's like, oh, all right, cool. Are you safe? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. That's it. Right. No, get out of there. No,
he says try to find your way home, he says. And ask directions if you need to. They were in some cavern, so I didn't see Do you see any people around or buildings?
No, listen. There is no marked places near Matt Tracker's house. Matt Tracker's house is 10 Cloverfield Lane. Right. If you wake up at Matt Tracker's house, bad stuff's about to go down. The boy is like, all right, fine, and he's pressing all the buttons on the helicopter and activates the helicopter. And the helicopter disrupts the arms deal. We're watching a children's television show, and there's an arms deal going on in front of us. That, I guess, gives them enough time for M.A.S.K to show up and defeat the bad guys and get the thing back. I got to be honest, I fell asleep in the last 2 minutes.
There's a couple things that were pretty ridiculous at the end here. They show back up at the end, and they have two of the parts of the thing. Right. So they're missing the third one. And Matt Tracker walks in and goes, I effed up. They got away. That was my piece. Right. That was my fault. Right. Hanno's going to die now. Who comes wandering in but Scott Tracker going, it was in the truck we just happened to steal.
Oh, very
So
nice.
He comes. So literally he saves everything anyway. So the lesson is, thank God he went along and had a chance to be killed. Right. Because if he hadn't.
Yeah, if your dad is a soldier of fortune.
I think Matt goes, I don't know whether to hug you or spank you. And then he takes it from him. And they were able to...
And then does he look over at the woman and goes, I know exactly what I'm going to do
Well,
to you,
even worse than that, you can show this clip too. The woman goes, don't tell me what bad happened to him was my fault, right? Is that, I feel kind of bad. Is that what I did? And he goes, that doesn't really matter at this moment. He doesn't comfort her. He doesn't say oh, don't worry. It's part of our, we're in a dangerous business. Right. It's you wouldn't say about a cop. It's part of what we do. Instead, he's like, that's not really concerned right now. Implying clearly it's her fault before they walk in.
He's very good at psychologically destroying his prey.
It is really messed up when you watch this. That's my favorite clip of the whole show.
Yeah, no. You killed Hondo, and I brought him back. And
So
you're
they-
going to have to make it up to all of us.
Scott, go to your room.
Oh no, Dad, not again. That's why I travel with him, so stuff like this can't happen. Please, Dad, no. A lot of people don't know. No, I can't say this joke. It'll never get through. It'll never get through. All right, guys. So
They bring Hondo back.
They bring Hondo back, and Hondo's like, "Can I please be free now, Matt? Do I still have to work with M.A.S.K?
I was hoping you would let me die in peace this time.
I don't want to come to your house anymore, Matt." Yeah, so Matt and his collection of friends are going to continue fighting Venom going forward.
And there's a lesson at the end again too.
I didn't see this. What's the lesson?
The lesson is it's much more it's a much more mundane lesson. It wasn't like, you know, some of them are trying to get really deep
If
and
you
like
get
whatever.
thrown from the back of a Jeep, try to barrel roll so that you're not injured.
Tuck
kids.
your chin to your chest to lessen the head injury that you will clearly suffer. Well, speaking of head injury, so T-Bob and Scott are throwing the ball around outside, and
Right.
T-Bob, even though he's a robot, can't seem to throw in a straight
Right.
line. Wings it over Scott's head, and he goes to run out into the street.
Gotcha.
And he stops, the truck comes rolling by, and then Matt comes over and tussles Scott's hair and
Right.
goes like, remember, if a ball rolls into the street, look both ways before you get the ball. And that was the lesson they
Right.
decided to pick. As the
Unless
first one.
you're a 19 to 27-year-old woman, in which case, let that truck hit you. When you wake up, Matt Tracker will be there. G.I. Joe. Two things about it. One, I got oddly emotional because my brother, who passed away a number of years ago, used to love M.A.S.K. He was the first kid in the family to get a M.A.S.K. toy, and then I got one and we would play together. It was like probably the last thing that we played together before puberty came and we just started doing other things behind locked doors. But yeah, so I got oddly emotional. And then I would say it was even more oddly emotional because I hated every second of this thing. This was like one of the worst things we've ever done.
Right.
I fell asleep with like 5 minutes to go.
I can't believe that part of it. Yes.
It was terrible. And not only do I think that this does not belong on Nerdstalgia, I believe that there should be a campaign to erase Matt Tracker from popular cultural history.
The YouTube video I watched of it to find it has 1.2 million views. We're going to offend somebody in this because people apparently love it.
Or maybe not. Maybe it's people, maybe it's 1.2 million.
That's a lot to not
It's
be into
1.2
something.
million anthropologists trying to figure out what was wrong with 1985.
Right.
And this was the thing that they were looking at because Matt Tracker, agent of toxic masculinity. Matt Tracker, tool of the patriarchy. Yeah, this is a definite no from me. I'm assuming it's a no from you.
It's a no from me, yeah.
So next week, well, I'm not going to tell people what the shows are next week because then we can air these out of order. So I'll say
That's an
next
excellent
week
idea.
we'll
Yes.
have another great show
Right.
that we're going to be talking about here on Nerdstalgia. So join us then. Thanks, guys. I'm Jay Black. This is
Bill Ridgway.
like, subscribe, and comment to this video. Come on, guys. We need the help. 1.2 million on the first episode of M.A.S.K, and we can't get over 1,000. Are you kidding me? Please.